Beloved one, hear now the urgent divine command that comes forth from the realms of eternal light, carried upon the wings of Archangel Michael, who has been dispatched by the Most High to deliver to you a sacred message of blessing, justice, and transformation. For the time is short and the heavens have moved in your favor, decreeing that delay shall no longer hinder the manifestation of what has been promised to you. I, Michael, servant of the Almighty, speak with clarity and truth, declaring that your name has been inscribed upon the scrolls of divine destiny, and that every scheme of the adversary, every plan of darkness, and every false accusation raised against you shall be overturned and exposed. For justice has awakened and the sword of truth has been unsheathed. The divine command is urgent. It calls not for hesitation or doubt, but for immediate obedience, courage, and faith. For the blessings that are now released are unlike those you have known before. They are prepared specifically for this appointed time, and they are drenched in the oil of restoration, designed to lift you out of captivity and plant you firmly upon the rock of deliverance. The voice of heaven resounds with authority, summoning you to step out of despair, out of limitation, out of waiting, and into the full inheritance reserved for you since the foundation of the world. The Spirit of the Lord proclaims that you will no longer be hidden, overlooked, or denied, but raised up, honored, and established as a sign and wonder, a vessel of testimony that others may know the reality of God's justice and mercy. For what is about to unfold in your life is not merely for your own joy, but for the demonstration of divine glory to all who see and hear. In this moment, the angelic host stands ready, swords drawn, wings extended, surrounding you with protection, dismantling demonic networks, and severing every tie of oppression that once bound you, for the enemies of your soul can no longer prevail. The secrets, lies, and betrayals that were hidden in darkness are being brought swiftly into the light, and every adversary who plotted in secrecy shall stumble upon their own devices while you stand vindicated in righteousness. The role of Archangel Michael in this divine orchestration is to war on your behalf, to crush the opposition of unseen forces, to release divine decrees that ensure the manifestation of justice, and to strengthen you with courage to act without hesitation when the door opens, for heaven will not labor endlessly to set the stage for blessing only for you to linger in indecision. And so I tell you now, rise up, take hold, move forward, obey without fear, and see the hand of God perform wonders that will astound you. Divine justice and exposure shall come as a wave, and in its wake you will find recompense, restoration, and reward. For what was stolen will be returned multiplied, what was lost will be restored greater than before, and what was denied will be handed over into your possession openly, for this is the season of divine compensation. Do not let the magnitude of this message intimidate you, for you are chosen and protected for this very breakthrough. Your steps have been ordered even when you did not perceive it, your tears have been gathered, your prayers have been heard, and your faith, though tested, has not been in vain, for heaven's response has been dispatched at last. Therefore, understand that the call to immediate action is not optional but essential, for delay in obedience is a form of disobedience, and in this hour hesitation could hinder the flow of blessing. So stand firm, be bold, and align yourself instantly with the divine prompting. For when heaven moves, you must move. Archangel Michael is assigned not only to deliver this proclamation but also to empower you in real time, to strengthen your resolve, to embolden your faith, to shatter your fear, and to cover you in divine fire, that no assault of the enemy may penetrate your shield. The blessings and provisions being released are comprehensive. They touch finances, health, family, spiritual authority, peace of mind, and freedom from every form of bondage, and they are tailored to your unique destiny. For the Father gives good and perfect gifts, not generic blessings, but answers fitted to your needs and promises. You are therefore instructed to receive without wavering, to act without doubting, and to embrace without hesitation. For to question excessively is to delay possession. Hear the divine assurance that these blessings come not because of your striving alone but because of divine covenant. For God is faithful to His word, and though the vision tarried, it has now been quickened. Though the battle was long, it has now turned to your favor. Though the night endured, the dawn has broken, and the light of victory has come. Transformation and victory are guaranteed in this release, for you are lifted from captivity into freedom, from scarcity into abundance, from oppression into authority, and from silence into testimony. Every trial you endured was not wasted but was preparation for this hour of glory, and now heaven delights to crown you with favor, to exalt you in due season, and to establish you as a sign of what God can do when He chooses to vindicate and bless. Do not look backward with regret, nor forward with fear, but stand fully present in this divine moment, for the orchestration of blessing is unfolding with precision. Heaven has arranged circumstances, shifted hearts, aligned opportunities, and even used the resistance of the enemy as a stepping stone toward your promotion. And now you stand at the threshold. The door is open, the invitation is clear, and the command is urgent. Rise, take possession, walk boldly, and declare the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. For you are chosen, protected, and empowered to step into the fullness of destiny, and Archangel Michael stands as your defender, your witness, and your companion in the victory that is now at hand. Beloved one, as the divine flow continues, know that the blessings and provisions being released into your life are not fragments or partial measures but the fullness of God's abundance. For heaven does not pour out drops when rivers have been promised, nor does the Father withhold what He has already decreed to be yours. And so this moment signifies a transfer, a divine release that touches every sphere of your existence, from financial restoration to emotional healing, from spiritual empowerment to relational reconciliation. Nothing shall be left untouched by the hand of blessing, for when God arises, He does not act in half measure but with completeness and overflowing provision. Hear then that the land is to be made fruitful for you. Resources long withheld will find their way into your hands, debts shall be canceled, opportunities shall be opened, and the emptiness that once haunted you shall be filled with divine supply. For this is not a mere act of chance but the outcome of divine covenant, sealed by prayer, faith, and endurance. The blessings being transferred shall not only sustain you but transform you, bringing tangible evidence of God's justice. For where there was loss, there shall now be gain. Where there was weakness, there shall now be strength. Where there was scarcity, there shall now be more than enough. And this abundance is not only for your personal comfort but to establish you as a vessel of blessing to others, a light shining in dark places, a testimony of God's faithfulness. Therefore, receive without fear, act without doubt, and embrace without hesitation, for the conditions for receiving are simple yet profound: obedience, faith, and readiness to move when the Spirit directs. For the blessing is not meant to linger in potential but to manifest in reality, and you are called to step into it fully, not partially. Know that your enemies cannot block what God has decreed, for even now, those who plotted against you are being confounded, their snares are broken, their traps exposed, and their accusations silenced. For heaven itself has rendered the verdict in your favor, declaring you justified, vindicated, and worthy to receive, not by your own merit alone, but by divine mercy and covenant promise. The blessings are sealed, and though the adversary may attempt to intimidate or confuse, he is powerless against the decree of the Almighty. For what God blesses, no one can curse, what God opens, no one can shut, and what God ordains, no one can delay. Thus the message of urgent blessing is also a call to spiritual alignment and protection, for as you walk into this new season, the covering of heaven surrounds you, the angels encamp around you, and the favor of the Lord rests upon you like a shield, guiding your steps, securing your path, and protecting your inheritance. Archangel Michael stands as your guardian, enforcing heaven's verdict, ensuring that no scheme of darkness can prevail against you. For the forces of heaven are not passive but active in their defense, fighting battles you cannot see, dismantling opposition before it reaches you, and clearing the path so that you may walk unimpeded into your destiny. Be reminded that your spiritual alignment is key in this hour, for when your heart is fixed on God, your mind stayed on His promises, and your actions aligned with His will, you create a channel through which heaven's blessings flow unhindered, and this alignment is not achieved by striving but by surrender, not by fear but by trust, for God's desire is not to burden you but to empower you, to clothe you with authority, to fill you with peace, and to position you securely in His divine plan. Hear then the assurance that you are not alone, for the very presence of God goes before you, surrounds you, and dwells within you, making you a carrier of His glory and a vessel of His power, so that wherever you step, the kingdom of heaven is manifest, and wherever you speak, the authority of heaven is declared. Divine favor and blessing are now your portion, not as a fleeting moment but as a sustained reality, for the season of lack has ended, the night of struggle has passed, and the dawn of breakthrough has risen over you, bringing with it joy, peace, and provision. Therefore, lift your head, strengthen your faith, and walk forward with confidence, knowing that the orchestration of blessing has been meticulously arranged, every detail accounted for, every delay redeemed, every hardship transformed into testimony, and every battle turned into victory. The angels of the Lord are not idle but active, warring on your behalf, ensuring that justice is not only proclaimed but enacted, that blessing is not only promised but delivered, and that victory is not only declared but lived. And so the call remains. Rise up, take possession, act in faith, and proclaim with your mouth what heaven has decreed, for your agreement with the word releases its manifestation. In your life, let not fear silence your declaration, let not doubt weaken your faith, but let your words align with the divine decree, speaking life, speaking promise, speaking blessing, until the reality of heaven fully invades your earth. And know, beloved one, that this message is not a general proclamation for the masses but a specific, intentional word for you, crafted by divine wisdom, carried by Archangel Michael, and sealed by the authority of the Most High, because you are chosen, protected, and destined for victory in this very hour, and nothing, no power, no adversary, no circumstance, can overturn the blessing that has now been released over your life. Beloved one, as the heavenly current continues to pour forth, you are to understand that the transformation you are stepping into is not superficial or temporary, but deep, enduring, and divinely orchestrated. For this is a moment of holy reversal where everything that was once aligned against you is now being overturned and restructured by the hand of God in your favor. The chains of oppression that bound you are shattered, the strongholds that resisted your progress are dismantled, and the verdict of captivity has been forever reversed. For the Almighty has declared liberty over your life, and when He decrees freedom, no force in heaven, earth, or beneath the earth can revoke it. This transformation is the fulfillment of promises long awaited, prayers long offered, tears long shed, and faith long tested. And now heaven responds with undeniable evidence that God has not forgotten you, that your labor has not been in vain, and that your journey has not been without purpose. Every battle you endured, every betrayal you suffered, every delay you faced was permitted not to destroy you but to position you for this very breakthrough. And now the divine narrative is shifting from struggle to victory, from obscurity to recognition, from sorrow to joy, from lack to abundance. For the orchestration of blessing is precise, intentional, and unstoppable. The outcome of this season will be a testimony so powerful that it cannot be denied or explained away, for it will bear the unmistakable signature of divine intervention, silencing doubters and confounding adversaries, while simultaneously inspiring those who have watched your journey, proving to them that God is indeed faithful, that justice does indeed prevail, and that the righteous are never forsaken. You, beloved one, are chosen as a vessel of this demonstration, not merely to receive personal blessing, but to serve as a living testament of God's justice and mercy, a visible signpost pointing others toward His reality and His power. Therefore, embrace this transformation fully, without reservation, for the victory ahead is not fragile but firm, not partial but complete, and its purpose is not only to elevate you but to glorify the One who has sustained you through the valley of testing. Remember also that this call to transformation comes with a responsibility. You are to walk in courage, to embody the victory already given, and to reject the lies of fear, doubt, and unworthiness, for those voices have no authority over you now, and the enemy who once whispered them has been stripped of power. Archangel Michael remains stationed at your side, ensuring that you walk boldly into this season, reminding you that the authority of heaven rests upon you, and empowering you to claim without hesitation what has been assigned to you. The orchestration of blessing includes divine timing, divine placement, and divine connections. For heaven has aligned circumstances, opened doors, and positioned people who will act as instruments of favor in your journey, and you will recognize them not by outward appearance but by the peace of the Spirit that confirms their role in your life. Do not be surprised when those who once opposed you are compelled to witness your elevation, for even your enemies shall serve as spectators to the justice of God as He raises you up in their sight, and though they may grieve at your progress, they will be unable to hinder it, for the decree has been sealed in heaven and executed on earth. You are instructed not to dwell on past failures or missed opportunities, for all has been redeemed, and what lies before you far surpasses what was lost. And the Spirit of the Lord declares that every tear, every sacrifice, every unseen act of faith has been multiplied into the reward now set before you. Let your heart rejoice, let your soul be at peace, and let your spirit rise in praise. For the orchestration of blessing is already in motion, unstoppable and unshakable, and your role is simply to step into it with unwavering faith. Transformation and victory are now your inheritance, justice and provision your reality, alignment and protection your covering, and blessing upon blessing your testimony. For this is the hour that heaven has chosen to exalt you, to vindicate you, and to establish you in the fullness of your divine destiny. Walk then with boldness, beloved one, and let no shadow of fear rob you of the joy prepared for you, for the God who began this work will complete it. The angels who fight for you will not falter, and the victory that now unfolds will not be reversed, but will stand as an eternal marker of what the hand of God has accomplished in your life. Beloved one, as we arrive at the culmination of this divine message, hear the final charge and the sealing decree from the throne of the Almighty, carried yet again by the voice of Archangel Michael, who has been commissioned to guard, to strengthen, and to ensure that this word does not merely fall upon your ears but ignites in your spirit as living fire. This is not the conclusion of a speech but the beginning of a new chapter of your life. For the blessings, provisions, protections, and transformations that have been declared are not distant possibilities but present realities. waiting only for your agreement and obedience to fully manifest. Therefore, let your heart open wide, let your faith rise without limitation, and let your actions align with the instructions you have been given. For the orchestration of blessing is perfect and nothing is lacking, nothing is missing, nothing is broken. The angels are positioned, the decrees have been issued, and the doors are open. But it is you, beloved, who must walk through, for heaven does not force but invites, does not coerce but empowers, and this invitation is drenched in grace and sealed with divine urgency, for the season of hesitation is over, and the time of action is now. Be reminded that your identity has shifted. No longer are you the one who was oppressed, denied, or overlooked, but you are now established as a victor, a carrier of divine justice, a vessel of glory, a steward of blessing, and a warrior clothed in heavenly armor. For Archangel Michael has drawn his sword not only to defeat your enemies but to awaken the warrior within you, the one who will walk boldly into destiny, refusing to bow to fear, refusing to retreat in doubt, refusing to allow old patterns to govern a new season. Take courage then, for the Father delights in your rising, the Spirit empowers your steps, and the Son has already secured your victory. Do not measure your future by your past, nor your blessing by your previous lack, but see with divine vision the vastness of what is now being entrusted to you. For you are not stepping into a fragment of inheritance but into the fullness of it, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, for heaven has released it without restraint. Know that divine justice ensures every wrong is being righted, every false word exposed, every betrayal turned into fuel for your elevation, and every loss repaid with abundance. For the Father wastes nothing and redeems everything. And you are stepping into that redemption now. The orchestration of blessing extends not only to what you need but to what you never thought possible. For God delights in exceeding your expectations, in surprising you with favor, in overwhelming you with kindness, and in displaying His faithfulness so brightly that there can be no doubt He alone is the source of your breakthrough. Yet remember this truth: blessings are not an end but a beginning, not simply gifts but assignments, for you are entrusted to steward them with gratitude, with humility, and with wisdom, using them not only for your upliftment but as a channel to bless others, to testify of God's goodness, and to glorify His name in all that you do. You are a light set upon a hill, and your testimony will inspire many, strengthening the faith of the weary, restoring the hope of the broken, and drawing the lost toward the reality of divine love and justice. This is why Archangel Michael has delivered this urgent command: to remind you of your divine calling, to assure you of your protection, and to stir you to immediate and courageous action. For heaven has invested in you, and the earth awaits your manifestation. So go forth, beloved one, clothed in strength, radiant with favor, unshaken in faith, and fearless in action, knowing that the orchestration of blessing has already been sealed and the victory is already yours. Let no doubt remain, let no fear linger, let no hesitation steal what is rightfully yours, for the heavens declare it, the angels enforce it, and the Spirit within you confirms it. You are chosen, you are blessed, you are victorious, and you are forever protected by the power of the Almighty. Walk then in this truth, testify boldly of it, and let the world witness the glory of God revealed through your life. For this is your moment, this is your breakthrough, this is your destiny fulfilled. And now, beloved listener, if this message has stirred your heart, awakened your spirit, and reminded you of the reality of divine justice, blessing, and protection, I invite you with wisdom and gentle encouragement to remain connected to this stream of heavenly inspiration. The journey of faith is not a single step but a continual unfolding, and so I urge you to subscribe to Archangel Inspire on YouTube, where messages like this are shared to uplift, to guide, and to strengthen those who are ready to walk in victory. Do not let this be the last word you receive, for heaven is speaking continually, and Archangel Inspire is a channel where you will find encouragement, insight, and reminders of the truth that you are never alone, never forsaken, and always empowered by divine grace. Subscribing is not just clicking a button, it is choosing to align yourself with ongoing inspiration, it is choosing to feed your spirit with words of power, and it is choosing to walk this path with others who, like you, are rising into destiny. So, let your next act of faith be simple yet profound. Subscribe to Archangel Inspire, stay connected, and continue receiving the guidance that heaven delights to provide, for your journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to unfold.